Welcome to USTC360. I'm Dilber Shatursun, and today is a day where we'll celebrate all things good. About 100 years ago in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation that made the second Sunday of every May Mother's Day, and it's celebrated around the world. Years later, in 2000, officials in Taiwan proclaimed the same day would also celebrate the Buddha in what's known as Buddha Day. And to sandwich it all into one bundle, the Tzu Chi Foundation, which was founded in 1966, declared that their anniversary, too, would be celebrated on this day, and with an event called the Buddha Bathing Ceremony. And so as we navigate through the merriment, we'll take you across the U.S. to meet our friends in Northern and Southern California, but also beyond. And in each of these locations, you'll see how waves of mothers, devotees, and Tzu Chi volunteers from all walks of life will gather and partake in the spirit of these holidays. So to prepare for all of our guests today, first things first, food. I'm headed now to the kitchen of Tzu Chi New York's Chinatown Service Center, where volunteers woke up early to start cooking up a storm. They're set to prepare about 600 lunch boxes for the guests of today's event. So let's see what's cooking. All right, let's do this.
Go all the way down.
Dig deep.
Yeah.
So right now I'm mixing about 3 different vegetables. This is not as easy as it looks. What are you doing?
Cooking rice.
Cooking rice?
Yangji rice.
So for today's lunch, they're going to be using all of Jinx's rice. And it can instantly cook within, according to this kitchen, about 6 minutes. Now it's time for the icing on top of the cake, the packing.
Okay, good. That's enough.
Make it look as good as it tastes.
Yeah.
1 preserved egg, 1 down, 599 to go. My arms already feel like they're about to fall off, but now let's head for setup. This year's ceremony is on Howard Street in Chinatown here in Lower Manhattan. This space is estimated to accommodate about 1,000 people, and volunteers have been setting up since 7:30 a.m. to prepare and dress the staging area that you see all the way behind me. While there's more to do here, let's find out about the hustle and bustle going on the opposite coast.
I'm Hsieh, and I'm here at Independence High School in San Jose, one of the largest high schools in Northern California. Here is where Tzu Chi's Northwestern Region volunteers and local community members will come to participate in this year's Buddha bathing ceremony. Organizers are preparing for up to 2,000 participants, so volunteers are busy setting up the night before the event. We're here setting up the all-important Buddha statue.
在 shift， 对，觉得这样子了，对。
Looks good. Check it out. They have a fog machine. Come on. How cool is that, huh?
We spend a lot of nights, late nights, and preparing it. A lot of things get changed on the daily basis. It's just, all the changes are just trying to get this event to the perfect stage.
Looks like we're ready to go here. Now let's turn to Southern California to see how their preparations are coming along.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael, and today we're here in Southern California. Tzu Chi USA's national headquarters is hosting the Buddha bathing ceremony at Cal Poly Pomona's campus. We expect to have over 3,000 guests in attendance, and as a result, the volunteers from Panda Express are busily making 3,000 rice cakes, all of which are made from Tzu Chi's Jinxer rice.
We use a ladle, put the rice.
And just smash it down.
Yeah. Voila.
Just like that, guys, just that easy. That's really good. The taste is really enlightening. So I just put it right here like that in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I get a rice cake.
Right.
And then after that, I just fold it like that.
Right. Hold that.
And then the other side
Right.
like this.
Connecting, you place the sticker right in the middle.
So just like that, guys.
Our founder, Andrew Chen, always encourage us to share and helping people. That's why we enroll a lot of people to this event. We want to promote this instant rice to the public, let people know that how can this rice can helping people, especially during the crisis.
So now we're just about ready to begin the first part of today's program for the audience, the sign language performance.
施主众生真善知识，施主众生大量福田，施主众生不轻之事。 小处互处，大义之处，处处为众生大道师，能为声芒作烟幕，为电光黄冠作正面。香小了要行，随病受药，大船是运载去生，无生死河，执念安安。
This year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Southern California are interpreting via sign language Chapter 1 from the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings. The sutras deal with what it means to be a bodhisattva, or an enlightened being. Their mission is to teach the truth, cleanse away the ignorance, and help their peers reach the shores of nirvana. But before we go there, let's first head back to New York.
It's this sutra that is a gift that keeps on giving. Rather, the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings encourages us to turn the unenlightened toward the light and suggests that if you can understand this notion, it is a door that opens you to its many meanings. From all of this, we are encouraged to aspire to, despite living not only under the strain of an imperfect world, but living as imperfect beings, as humans. And it's today that we are reminded of these lessons. Why deliver this message via sign language, especially if most of the audience can hear? According to author Julia Huang in her book Charisma and Compassion, she suggests that Dharma Master Zhengyan equated the hand gestures to Buddhist mudra, or spiritual gestures involving the fingers, hands, and body. But, she notes, there is a special difference. Sign language is meant for the common man to easily understand, while mudras remain for the mystic. And so, to spiritually connect with the meaning of the songs, inspired by the Master's teachings, the sutra is presented with gestures that come from the heart. And yet another way that Tzu Chi has taken spiritual practice into the theatrical realm is through the performance from vow to action. It's here that we'll see the story of a Buddhist monk named Master Jianzhen. His mission? To strengthen the Dharma in Japan. From China, he sailed 5 times toward Japan, and each time he failed, that is, until his 6th attempt. It's this performance that is meant to inspire those who watch it, to witness his perseverance on this path, despite the hardships of the natural world. But how exactly? Let's see how the spirit of Master Jianzhen gives the tune Row, Row, Row Your Boat a whole new meaning in Northern California.
Jim Toll, who works in marketing at a Silicon Valley tech company, plays the role of Master Jianzhen. For the past 5 years, he has been volunteering for Tzu Chi's translation team, helping to edit the English subtitles for the Da'ai dramas. While he can work on translation from the comfort of his own home, his role as Master Jianzhen put him right in center stage.
Up until now, Tzu Chi work I did was just the translation work where I'm sitting in a room all by myself. And so this has been, for me, a real eye-opener to just be a part of a group, to get to know all of these guys than just doing kind of the behind-the-scenes activities. When you look at the people involved and you look at their faces, you really get a sense of how Buddhism has made their lives, I think, more peaceful and fulfilling. And I think you can see that just looking at the people who are participating in this event. One of my personal goals is to try and broaden the Tzu Chi experience to Western people. It will take some doing and some time, but like Jianzhen, perseverance pays off.
Jim, along with all of the performers you see here today in Northern California, have observed a vegetarian diet for 108 days or 108 meals leading up to the event, 108 being a sacred number in Buddhism. And it's in this way that they've put into action the love, compassion, and dedication that they portray in their performances. Now let's turn to Southern California as they pay their respects to the Buddha.
As the Buddha once expressed, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and in this way, devotees are sharing their reverence of the Buddha's teachings together. But organizers have spent weeks preparing for this event. Why celebrate the Buddha and his wisdom like this? Let's meet Executive Director of Tzu Chi USA, Han Huang, to find out.
I think a big part of the celebration is the offering. We offer 3 things. One is the lamp, one is the flower, one is the fragrant water. To offer the lamp because it's a symbolic meaning for the light. You know, Buddha is enlightened, and that's a symbol for his wisdom. Now for the flower, because the flower smells good, right? The sweet smelling. It's a symbol for Buddha's wisdom and also the symbol for Buddha's virtue. Now, for the fragrant water, that's because it's a symbol. Water can clean things for us. Buddha's philosophy is just like water. It can help us to purify our own mind. And that's why we're offering these 3 things in today's event. Today, because it's Tzu Chi's 25th year anniversary, so we are trying to do the event outside the headquarters and hopefully make it more accessible to general audience.
What you'll see now is devotees lined up to take turns in what's known as bathing the Buddha. It begins with a 90-degree bow, and because the feet of the Buddha's figure is before them, it's a gesture that signifies great humility in bowing to the foot of another. At the same time, their hands touch pools of scented water, and when they rise, the fragrance wafts gently to their noses, a fragrance that reminds them of the Buddha's virtue. And with another bow, they take a flower to keep the thoughts of the Buddha's teachings with them. And what's important to note here is that the process should not be classified as worship. Rather, this ritual is a tribute of respect to the Buddha, for, as a teacher, it is his teachings that help us find the wisdom within ourselves. And helping metro area volunteers find their own wisdom is Henry Duan, a volunteer from New York's Chinatown Service Center. For weeks, he has been planning this year's event from logistics to food to today's setup. And thanks to the efforts of Henry and his team, the Tzu Chi Foundation was able to secure usage of Howard Street here in Manhattan's colorful and very busy Chinatown for this year's Buddha bathing ceremony.
我们以往呢浴佛都会在我们的会所，或者是到一个比较偏僻的像公园的地方来举行。往往呢都是我们自己的志工呢在里面庄严道场，然后没有办法把这个法喜呢，然后一起来沾染给其他的会众。所以我们今年呢选择了跟以往不同的方式，然后类似街访节方式来举办。当然。我们会选择这个地方，当然是因为我们会所的地利的关系，而且这是我们的社区道场。虽然我们这里是以观光客为主，但是呢，我们还是希望能够以这里为中心。我希望进来的人参与我们法会的会众，不管他是了解我们佛教也好，或者不了解我们佛教也好，我们借由今天的导览，让他了解我们慈济，我们在国际间我们做过了多少事情，希望能够感动到他们，甚至于进一步的来参与我们的志工行列，人间菩萨大招生。
Traditionally, the ceremony begins with a procession of faith corps and commissioners bringing in the water and flowers to be used for the ceremony. This year, in an effort to engage more volunteers, the procession will include brand new volunteers. These new volunteers committed to 20 hours of volunteer service and 108 vegetarian meals for the honor of participating in the procession. Now let's see how the same ceremony is being celebrated across the U.S. The ceremony is now complete, and attendees are outside sampling Tzu Chi's Jingsi rice. The rice is produced by Master Zhen Yan's disciples at the Jingsi abode in Taiwan, primarily used as a meal for areas hit by natural disasters. Since the rice doesn't contain any artificial preservatives, it has a limited shelf life, and consuming the rice when there is no major disaster is a way of supporting the production of the rice so that it's available when disaster strikes. As you can see, a bowl of Jingsi rice is no ordinary bowl of rice. It's a bowl of love. That's it from San Jose. I'm Kevin Hsieh. Now let's turn to Southern California, where Michael is sampling those rice cakes.
I'm right now in front of the Panda Express booth, where the volunteers from Panda are graciously donating all these rice cakes out. Thank you very much. Anyways, that was the Buddha baiting ceremony. It was a truly emotional and inspiring experience. Once again, my name is Michael, and I'm reporting to you from Cal Poly Pomona. And before we go, let's first head over to Taiwan, where my teammate Nils is actually witnessing one of Taiwan's biggest Buddha baiting ceremonies.
I'm Nils Aucante, and I just landed here in Taipei, Taiwan a couple of hours ago for the first time. And already I can feel that Taiwan, this little island, lives up by its historical name of Isla Formosa, beautiful island. And right now I'm at the National Memorial Hall of Chiang Kai-shek in central Taipei, where the ceremony is beginning just behind me. And I was already here earlier on for the rehearsal, in which thousands of volunteers from all over Taiwan took part. As you can imagine, how much work and dedication such an event can take. And even if it's starting to rain right now, what's happening behind me is even more impressive, as they're expecting today about 40,000 people, and the Memorial Hall is completely full, as you can see. This year the theme is the universe, and we see that the formations of people represent the galaxies and the planets. For this event, the volunteers of Tzu Chi are like the stars in the galaxy, they light up the world. As you can see, every man group, formation, movement is completely coordinated, and this goes as far as eyes can see. So I'm really happy and touched to be here. What a wonderful way to get to know Taiwan for the first time. So let's go back to New York, but only you. I'll stay here a little more. I'm Nils Aucante in Taipei, Taiwan, and I'll see you soon.
In honor of Mother's Day, young volunteers will be distributing a flower like this to the mothers in the audience. But these aren't ordinary flowers. In the past weeks, volunteers from the New York chapter office have spent hours delicately folding these dish towels made from recyclable materials into a carnation-like shape, which you can see here. The song that's playing here now is called The Most Beautiful Smile. The lyrics in Chinese express how, even in the moments when we don't always welcome a mother's love, she is always there for us, just like the teachings of the Buddha. Would you like to have a carnation for Mother's Day?
Sure, thank you.
It's made out of a recyclable material. You can use it as a dish towel.
Oh, great, thank you.
You're very welcome. And before we go, I just want to thank all of our hosts from Northern California, Southern California, and not to mention Taipei. Thanks for joining me this time. I'm Dilber Shatursun. Happy Tzu Chi Day, Happy Buddha Day, and Happy Mother's Day. I'll see you soon.